So I might get started. I got asked about meal planning the other day, and I thought I might just put together sort of a step-by-step guide for how to put a bit of a meal, like a weekly meal plan together. So I am going to be publishing today on the blog that in blog post form if you want to go and have a little bit of a read, but we'll talk through that today. I've also done a sample, like a meal planning template too, so I'll post that in the group after the live Q&A is done, and hopefully that'll help just to give you a bit of an idea about the types of things that you should be thinking of. What I will do is, I know I've said this already when Naomi and Rianne were on, but Chantel and Vanessa, anybody else that's here, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments section and I'll answer those as we go. So anything to do with meal planning, but anything outside of that as well, if you need to ask anything, let me know. So we may as well get started. What I think is really tricky about meal planning, especially after having a sleeve, is just kind of getting that balance right from a nutrition point of view, but there's also from a practical point of view. It can be really hard to plan when you know that you can't eat much, and recipes often, serve four, and maybe, especially if you're living by yourself and you've had a sleeve, that serves four recipe might give you 8 or even 10 portions. So then you end up with either lots of food that you throw out, or you waste food that you buy because you can't get through it fast enough, or you have a freezer just chocked full of little bits and pieces and you never really get through everything. The other thing that can happen is you can get stuck eating the same thing all the time, and we don't want that either, because we want a good variety of food, so variety of protein, variety of veggies, lots of good quality foods, lots of different colours, so that we get all of the nutrition in that we need. So what I would do is, first things first, actually set aside some time to sit down and dedicate some time to creating a meal plan. All right. It's really hard to just be on the go and kind of planning day to day. That's when everything kind of falls apart. So the way I tend to do it is do a shop on a Sunday. We also cook a meal that's freezable, or something that will sort of last for a couple of days for lunches and things on a Sunday. But if that's not you, it doesn't matter. Just work out when it works for you to actually have a little bit of time to yourself and sit down and plan your meals, and then do the shop so that you've got everything there that you need for the week as well. Do that with a cup of tea, glass of wine. Maybe you're doing it on a Saturday night or something before Sunday. Then make sure that you make it a pleasurable experience and it doesn't become a chore. Second thing to do is sit down and actually look at your calendar. You want to know if there are any meals where you won't be eating at home. So do you have any meals planned out that week? Do you have any work lunches? Are there any times when you'll be back late because you've got like a call at work, or the kids have got something on, or any breakfasts that you need to think about as well because you're rushing out the door really early? That's really key to making sure that you don't have too much food at home, that you're not wasting things, but also key to making sure that you have options there that are quick and easy if you do get home late at night, or if you need to rush off in the morning before you have enough time to have some breakfast. So sit down with your meal planner or a notebook to work out what you want to plan, and also with your calendar or your diary there so you can see what you need to think about being on that week. Third thing to do, think about how many people you're planning for. Are you planning for just you? Are you planning for 2 of you? Are you planning for a family of 4 or 5? And what I think is useful with once you've had a sleeve is to break it down into how many serves or how many portions is it per meal. Because if you're cooking for 4, that's great because you can look at a recipe for 4, but it's likely then that you'll actually end up with 3 normal portion sizes and 2 sleeve portion sizes. So it's good to sort of keep that in the back of your mind when you're going as well. You can, if you really like numbers and spreadsheets and getting a bit concise and scientific about it, you could count up how many normal and how many sleeve portions you needed of everything, but the more you do it, the more you'll get the feel for what's sort of left over, and maybe you've got someone else in the family that will eat a bit more than a normal portion anyway, so that kind of evens out. Step 4, think about brekkie. Are you happy to have the same thing every day? Do you like having maybe 2 or 3 options that you just choose on the day? So do you just need to make sure that you've got those things there? Or do you really like to mix it up every day? Have a think about that, because that will determine what you need to put on your shopping list as well. If you just have muesli and frozen berries and a bit of yogurt every day, easy, okay? Or if you just have eggs, easy. But if you want to mix it all up, then you need to put all of those ingredients on your shopping list. Step 5, think about the bariatric pyramid. I'm going to post this in the blog post. It is an awesome sort of visual representation of what you need to think about every day from a bariatric point of view, so once you've had a sleeve. So it's really thinking about maximizing protein and veggies. It includes there things like water and exercise and your supplements, which is excellent, because if you have that there, you'll remember everything every day. So it's really good. I know some people that I used to see in the clinic had it as a screensaver on their phone so that they saw it every time they opened it up, or put it somewhere like next to the kettle so you see it in the morning, or on the mirror in the bathroom, somewhere so that you know that you're getting everything in that you need. We really want to put a mix of proteins in every day. So lots of people will prefer to base their meal on the type of protein. So if you work out that over 5 dinners, you want to have 2 to 3, maybe 2 fish meals, 2 beef meals, and then a bit of chicken, maybe a veggie one, like an egg-based meal, then that's a really good way to start, because that'll give you an idea then of how you want to portion up your week, so that you then go, okay, well, I need 2 beef recipes, so then you can go off and find two beef recipes, or 2 meals that you cook all the time that have beef as their base, and then you can go, okay, well, I need 2 to 3 fish meals, and then I need this many chicken meals. Then that makes it a bit easier. We're starting to get a little bit of shape then. Okay. Step 6, find out how many meals you need to cook that week now. So you have worked out that you might be out to dinner you missed 2 dinners, and then maybe you've got like 1 or 2 lunches that you're not eating from home, or you go out with workmates. Maybe breakfast, there's one that that you meet up with the other mums from school, whatever it is. Then think about how many times you want to have beef, fish, chicken, veggie meals, and now we're starting to get a little bit more of a plan. All right. Also think about varying up the type of meals that you're cooking. So a really good idea is to keep it simple most of the time. Don't try and cook a new thing every night of the week. It's not going to be sustainable. Pick some family favourites, things that you know how to do well, things that don't take very much time. Again, there's no point in cooking something that takes a couple of hours on a weeknight. You're just not going to do it. So keep it simple, especially for during the week. Try at least once a week to cook something that goes in the freezer, because then if there's anything left over, you can build up the stores of meals in the freezer, so that then next week, if you know that you have a meal where you're going to get home late, then you can just pop that in the microwave and reheat it, and it's already there, and you don't need to stress about trying to cook something last minute after a big meeting, or a game of netball, or whatever it is. So keep it simple. Try something new every week, maybe. So especially after having a sleeve, sometimes things taste different. Sometimes things don't go down very well, and it can take a little while to work out what does suit you, and your taste and your tolerance to foods will change over time as well. So try something new every week. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work, you can slowly build up a bit of a repertoire of recipes that you enjoy, things that are quick and easy, things that are easily freezable, so you have a bit more variety. And Shona's just said that freezable meals are really great for lunches, and absolutely makes a perfect lunch. And then you don't even have to think about it. You just pull it out and take it and run as you're going out the door in the morning. Okay, so Step 7, and they're sort of on the same track. make sure that you include at least one meal that you absolutely love. All right? Meal planning doesn't have to be a punishment. It's all about making sure that you actually enjoy your food and you enjoy the process. So even if you don't like cooking, cook something that you really find delicious, so that at least at the end of that there's a bit more rewarding, so that it's not just trying to get food in for food's sake. All right, we want to get as much satisfaction out of our food as we can, and it doesn't matter if one or two of those meals aren't the best quality, or they've got, I don't know, more fat in them, or a bit saltier than they possibly should be. If you really enjoy them, put them in. All right, just think about the balance, so that overall you're getting lots of nutrients and it's really good quality food. All right. Step 8, so now you've got a bit of an idea about what you want to cook and when. Pick your recipes. So started to fill out the meal planner now. So actually decide on what you want to cook for each of those proteins. So for example, if you know that you want to do fish, pick a recipe that week that you're going to do the fish, or pick a recipe that week that you're going to do the beef, and start to write it all down in the meal planner or on your notebook. Then once you've got the recipes sort of sorted and you know what you want to cook, go through your fridge, go through your cupboard, see what you've got there, and anything that's not there, write it on your shopping list. There's nothing worse than going to the supermarket without a list, because that's when you're going to make all of those purchases for things that you don't need, things that are on special that sound really good at the time, and that's when you're going to end up with more food waste as well. So it is a really good idea then to actually write down on the shopping list. In the meal planner download that I'll post in the group, I've actually put an area for a shopping list as well, so you can just take that in with you, even just take a photo of it on your phone and take it into the supermarket. That way you've got more guidance, I guess, when you're going around the aisles. Some people like to separate their shopping list into the area of the supermarket that you'll find it. So for example, fruit and veggies, and then dry foods, maybe tinned foods, dairy, and that way you don't forget anything when you're going past and then have to come back and do it again. It just makes it a bit faster while you're in there. All right, so I hope that has helped. Does anybody have any questions about meal planning or anything in there that I said that didn't make sense? Shona, you've said you didn't think you've seen a bariatric pyramid. I'll find it for you and I'll post it. It is absolutely awesome. It just really sets it out in a much more easy to follow way, I guess. I can't remember who did it. It's out of the States. It's one of the bariatric surgery clinics in the States that have done it. So I'll post that in there for you. And Rebecca, you've said that you love Basiliscus now, post-op 9 months, fallen in love with it in the last week. And that's exactly, some people hate, I don't know, red meat before and then they love it afterwards. Some people hate coffee afterwards and they drank it 5 cups a day before the surgery. So keep trying foods and keep trying new recipes, different ways to prepare foods, and that way you'll find that you get a bit better at finding a little bit of a routine, something that works for you. The other thing you can do is once you've done the first week's meal plan, then when it comes to doing it again the next week and the next week, you've sort of got a master plan and you can adjust it a little bit, even by, for example, leaving the type of protein on the same day but swapping out the recipe. So once you've done it, the first time you do a meal plan is the time it'll take the most, and then every time you do it you'll get faster and faster and faster and sort of know what fits for you and what fits for the family if you've got others that you're cooking for as well.